Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to be talking about our 180-degree pivot step with the Mace. We are going to break this down into a bunch of different categories. There are 4 steps that we can do for this 180-degree pivot. In this video, we are going to cover one of them. We are going to combine the 180-degree pivot with our inside circle. That will give us 4 steps per hand. So there are really 8 versions of this. So this video is really going to cover 2 versions. Left hand, right hand, same side, same leg, inside circle, step in front. That's a lot of words. It'll make more sense as we go along. We're defining all of the terms in the step because that's how you determine which step you're actually doing. There are going to be a lot of these. These build into much more complicated steps later, but we want to make sure people understand the fundamental thing, and we're going to change one step at a time in a big series of videos about stepping. We are basing this on our most important Mace movements, the inside circle. There are 3 of the most fundamental movements I think we can do with a Mace or a club. Inside circles, hand moving towards our center line. Outside circles, hand moving away from our center line. And of course, our shield cast. Top hand goes past opposite ear in the single hand and 2-hand variant. Let's focus on the single arm circle for now because that's the easiest one. Let's put the Mace down for a second and let's talk about the step. If I'm using this hand, we're calling this the same side leg. We would call this the opposite side leg. We're going to take our same side leg and we are going to step in front, rotate away from the camera 180 degrees. We're going to do the same thing, same side leg, step in front. Basic step, but it's going to get a lot more complicated, so let's start with this one. Let's make sure we separate this out into pieces. Inside circles, practice first. Cross step pivot, cross step pivot, cross step pivot, cross step pivot. Let's do our step first, the circle second, the pivot third. Step inside towards our center line and pivot. Step towards our center line and pivot. Again, step across. You'll notice that this is the dragon stance that we were working on previously in our static pose. But now we are taking that static high dragon inside circle and we are letting it pivot. When we do the pivot, the thing you need to be aware of is that the Mace is going to change sides of your body. It's going to go from this side of your body to this side of your body. Otherwise, it's not going to work very well and you'll figure that out pretty quickly. Changes sides of the body. And I end up back in my neutral stance again. Step across, that's our dragon step, inside and pivot. We're going to do the exact same movement with the same hand with our 8X club to show you that the Mace move and the club move are exactly the same. We have our inside circle. We had our cross dragon step, inside circle. Now we put those together and the club is going to move from this side of our body to this side of our body as we pivot. Step, circle, pivot, balance. Step, circle, pivot, balance. Step, circle, pivot, balance. Step, circle, pivot, and balance. As with all of these exercises, say it aloud. Step, circle, pivot, balance. Say it aloud so you don't get confused. Let's go back to our Mace and demonstrate it with the other side. We were doing same hand, same leg. So when we change hands, we are going to change legs. Step, circle, pivot, balance. Step, circle, pivot, balance. Step, circle, pivot, balance. Step, circle, pivot, balance. I want you to break it down for now, say it, do it in that order, do it slow, and demonstrate control in every position so that you can integrate it into more complex movements later without clocking yourself in the leg. Giant metal ball impacting your shin is generally considered bad, and you should avoid it at all costs. Do it with no weight first, just the stepping, separate them out into pieces, integrate them all together, and then you're making a 180-degree pivot each time. One foot is staying in place, the other foot is moving, and we're just figuring out how to do this 360 turn.